Great. So, hello everyone. This is Zakir Hussain from Boost Education Service. I'm the Senior Education Consultant, and I'm mainly leading the UK office. I have with me Mr. Kully Virdee, the uh, partner from our QA HE higher education provider. We have him today with us to enlighten us about the study in the UK process and all the universities they work with and what's their requirement and everything we would like to know from him. Hello, Mr. Cooley. We welcome you with our broadcasting today. I hope you're doing well.
Hi, Jack. Yeah, I'm well, thank you. I've got a chest infection, so if I do come across a bit coughy or a bit spluttery, then I do apologise. But look, I know I was supposed to be in Bangladesh doing this event with you in person. Unfortunately, there were some issues, so I did wanted to make sure that we'd had something in place. So apologies. I was supposed to be in country, but I think this is a second best. And as I said, I do have a bit of a chest infection, so if I do come across a bit coughy, um, I apologise about that. But we'll try and muddle through somehow.
No worries at all. We really pray for your good health. You will be very well soon. And definitely, this is the second best chance for us to have you live with us and for our students and everyone interested to study in the UK as well, because they will anyway be in touch with you and ask their questions today. So, definitely, it is going to be a very good session for everyone, for us, and I am inviting everyone who is joining with us today to question related your study in the UK, anything you want to know, your entry requirement, your tuition fees. You can ask anything directly with us from me through me to Mr. Cooley. And I have a few questions,
Sure.
Cooley, for you to begin with the session today. Would you please introduce your company and what you do, what you are specialized for?
Sure. So, thank you, Jacob. So, with QA, we are one of the leading providers of higher education within the UK. We have four university partners that we recruit for international students, and all of these universities are excellent in a number of different specialities. So, first of all, look, the UK, pretty much all of the universities in the UK, and what the UK is known for globally is its business related courses. So, if a business course is something that you're after, then any of the universities that I'm about to cover or mention, you can then pick any of these universities. It just comes down to the choice of university you want to do. But what I'll do is I'll start with Northumbria University. So with Northumbria University, it is one of our key university partners. So through QA, you can now study at the main campus in Newcastle, as well as the London campus, which is the QA campus. So some stats about the university itself. It was ranked top young university by Times Higher Education in 2020, ranked 351st in the world, regularly been voted top university for student experience, ranked number one for graduate startups, silver TEF ranked. And I think one of the biggest selling points that I can say for Northumbria is the fact that it has over 30,000 students from 131 different countries. So, I think one of the biggest selling points of coming to the UK is the fact that not only will you get a world class education, but you will meet and meet students and people from all over the world, and that will then develop your kind of interpersonal skills. You'll learn about different cultures and experiences that will then help you when you go into a multinational business or a multinational corporate job. Our second university partner is um, Solent University. So Solent University, a lot like pretty much all the universities in the UK, has a huge amount of history. So Solent University has around 160 years worth of history. And for me, guys, look, I've worked in this industry for about 11 years now, and I've had the pleasure to represent a number of universities, private and public, in the UK. And for me, Solent really does have some of the best facilities that I have seen in any university. It is extremely strong in its maritime related courses because it is a coastal university. If you do have any students that are interested in any maritime related courses, Solent really do excel in this. Their engineering degree as well is ranked very high. I believe it's in the top three in the UK. And what Solent are really, really strong in is art, design, and fashion. Their fashion school is ranked in the top 100 in the world. I'll move on to our next university partner, which is the University of Roehampton. So, as I mentioned, a lot of the universities in the UK are very historical, and the University of Roehampton is up there. It's 175 years, has 175 years worth of history. It's ranked ninth out of 40 universities in London. And I think one of the biggest selling points that I can say about Roehampton is the fact that it is one of London's only university campuses. So it's a campus that has spread over 54 acres of parks, lakes, and woodlands. So the great thing is, as a student, you can go and study and live on campus. You have, that security of living on a campus. It's nice, quiet, tucked away in a nice, safe, quiet part of London, so you can study and live in peace. But then you also have everything that London offers on your doorstep. Again, it's extremely strong in its research powers. Has over 10,000 students from 141 different nationalities. So again, you get that very good cultural mix. And I'll move on to our newest university partner, which is the University of South Wales. And what I like about this university is, if you've never heard of QA, or what QA are known for in the industry, is our accountancy, business, IT, digital, business analytical courses. That's what we're extremely popular and known for globally. However, the great thing is with the University of South Wales, because they are one of the largest universities in the UK, they do offer over 500 different courses. So what we've been able to do is we've been able to now offer courses that we historically haven't offered in our foundation programs leading on to undergraduate courses. Stuff like cybersecurity, computer game design, sports journalism. University of South Wales has over 95% graduate employability rate. That was done by the DHLE survey in 2018. So that basically means 95%. So 95 out of 100 students that went to this university are in work or further education within 6 months. And more than half of the research that was done at this university was classed as world leading or internationally excellent. So the great thing is with all of these universities, guys, is they are extremely strong in the business related subjects, which I know the majority of South Asian students are looking for. But then each of these universities is extremely strong in specialized subject areas as well. Sorry. And just to cover, why should students look at the UK? As an international student at the moment, it's never been a better time to be an international student, because you have the likes of Canada, America, New Zealand, and Australia to look at and choose from. So why should you really look at the UK? Well, the UK really, really is the preferred destination for um, a huge amount of students, and it's because we do have a higher standard of education, and this is proved. This goes to show in the stats. So, if you look at the QS World Rankings, 4 of the top 10 universities in the world are based in the UK. You do get skills that employers want. So, back home in South Asia, all these big multinational companies, they do seek out foreign degree holders over local graduates. And out of those foreign degrees, the UK degree is really the one that's most sought after, because in the UK we have a very practical way in the way we teach, which is totally different compared to the theoretical based education that you have in South Asia. So just to give you kind of an example of that, let's say I'm in South Asia, I'm a student in school, and the lecturer writes a question on the board. I'm given a textbook to then go and find that answer, and I have to memorize that answer. And at the end of the year, I have to take a test or an exam. And if I've got a good memory, I write down the answer and I get a good result. However, in the UK, what a lecturer would do is he would write a question on the board, but there's no textbook. So it's up to you to figure out the answer using your problem solving, analytical skills. And this is why the UK degrees are more sought after, because this is the skills that the modern day employers want. And it just shows, so many companies now do seek out these UK degree holders. Our course lengths are shorter as well. So if you compare a bachelor's degree compared to a UK degree in America or Canada, it's a 4 year course over there. It's a 3 year course in the UK. So you are saving not only time, so you're not only saving yourself time, but you're also saving yourself a year's tuition fees, living costs. Um, and so basically, you're getting a better or higher awarded degree or quality degree in a shorter amount of time without losing any quality. And I think another thing that I would also say is that the UK government has a number of independent bodies in place, which are the QAA and TEF, that monitor the teaching and quality of the courses within the universities to ensure they are kept at optimum standard, and to ensure that these degrees are taught within government standards, to ensure that the quality is always maintained. And I think one of the final things is, you get to experience student life. You get to meet people from all over the world, because we know that education is only one part of the journey when you come and study in the UK. It's about getting experience to a really diverse, multicultural society. You start to learn about other people's cultures, other people's interests, and this then develops your personal ability as well as your academic ability.
Very well. Yeah, it was very insightful. Thanks a lot for the answer, because I think it will clear a lot of our students' mind about studying in the UK, what they're going to learn, and what places you're offering. I have noticed all the universities you've mentioned kind of covered the full England, and you are quite spreaded as well. So definitely, students are getting lots of location options from you. uh, I'd say a bunch of course options for you for them as well, which is great. So I would also want to know what intakes do you offer to the students over the year?
So the great thing is, because a number of the campuses are our QA campuses, we do offer more intakes than the standard universities who just have two intakes. So we have a January intake, we have a small March intake for a foundation program with Northumbria University. We then have a May intake, and then we have the main kind of September October intake. So we have four intakes a year.
Which is great actually, because yeah, usually universities have only two intakes,
Yeah.
which is September open for every courses, and January mostly focused for postgraduate courses.
Yeah, and the
Great,
great thing is,
great.
sorry, and that's great because look, I know sometimes South Asia is a very late market. We get very late applications. Students really hold off late until the last minute to then make an application, and sometimes they miss the intake. And the great thing with having so many intakes is, if a student misses a January intake, then they don't have to wait 9 months to then wait and take their course again. So they know, look, okay, there's a next intake in May. I could then potentially get my CAS, or if I make my application now, I can apply, and within 4 months I'll be ready to go and fly into the UK and start my course then as well.
Exactly, that's a lifesaver as well, because they will not need to prepare once again for the next intake, because
Yeah.
it's only 3 months away, so they can just go with the existing preparation. We have a question here already, actually, a couple of questions. So, the first question I would say is PSC, which is a post study work, I would say they mean, available. Would you like
Yeah,
to answer it?
yeah, sure, Jack. Okay, so the great thing is, and this is one of the a key selling point for the UK, is the fact that any student that comes to the UK and completes a degree will then have the option of a 2 year post study work visa. So this is great for any student that wants to gain some more practical experience on their CV, because look, a UK degree on your CV is going to open up so many doors for you. But I think because so many students are now coming to the UK and getting that degree, the market is getting saturated with UK degree holders. So what could make your CV stand out more than just having a UK degree is to have some work experience from a UK or an international company based in the UK. So yeah, look, the post-study work visa is available for any student that completes their degree. It is a 2-year post-study work visa, and look, in the moment at the moment in the UK, the way things are, we have a record amount of job vacancies in the UK. This is due to a number of factors with Brexit, the pandemic. There's a lot of companies that had to reduce their staff count during the pandemic, and then now the things have started to pick back up. They've started to rehire and expand their businesses again. However, there's not enough people to fill these jobs, so I can't sit here and say guarantee. Look, we can guarantee you a job, but it is a brilliant time to come to the UK because there is a lot of jobs available. If you can go into a company and show your worth, one, you'll gain experience, but two, there's also going to be the opportunity for you to potentially stay on if you're doing a good job, and that company has the capacity to hire you as through a tier 1 visa.
Yeah, and once you were in the UK, you were meeting people all over the world with many countries and many values and many cultures. So you were mixing with people, your communication skills grows faster. So it actually is a skill as well. So I think it will add more value to get a job. So that is not an issue for our student, our international students. We have the next question is PSE, which is pre-sessional English, if that is available with your organization.
Yes, it is. So we do have a huge number of PSE courses, which do tag on to courses, because I know, look, the biggest stumbling block for students from South Asia is the dreaded IELTS English test, or something like that. So the great thing is, with QA, we do offer something called we do a QAHE English test. It's a free service to all of our students. So 9 times out of 10, when I'm in agents' offices and I'm speaking to students, or if I'm doing these events, you will have students that say, "Look, I needed to get a 5.5 in my IELTS across the board, and unfortunately, I got 5.0 in one of my elements." Historically, that would have meant that test is not accepted, and you would then have to go and take another one. With QAHE, what we do is we do offer a free service. As I said, it's to all of our students that are holding a conditional offer. It's a English test that's done over Skype. It's very similar to an IELTS test, so there's a speaking, listening, reading, and writing element. And if you get the required score on that, you can use that for entry onto your course. But more importantly, you can use it for your visa as well. But yes, we do also offer a number of options for pre-sessional English as well. But as I said, for any student that has just missed their required score, do not get disheartened. Please speak to the guys here at Boost. Get your application in, and then we can get you booked in for your free QAHE English test.
Sure, that's an amazing opportunity, I'd say, because English test is kind of a headache somewhere because IELTS centers are not that much open with the dates. So definitely, if you are applying with QA, they are offering a very good deal with it. So that's a pretty good deal, I'd say. We have our next question, which is, do I have to pay full tuition fee?
Okay, so it's one of those questions where it's difficult to answer because it's a different answer for different courses. So for students from Bangladesh, if they are taking a foundation program or an international year 1 program, then the deposit is full fees after your scholarship has been added. For any student that's taking a postgraduate program, then you don't have to pay full fees, but you ideally looking at a 50 to 60% of your course fees as a deposit. Ideally, look, what I would always say is, if you can pay all of your fees up front, then I would do that, because then it means you can come to the UK. You don't have to worry about paying any outstanding fees. You can just come, settle, and just focus on your studies.
Exactly. Though we have systems paying in 60% deposit or 50%, but student, you always should focus on paying the full fees because it will make your life easier. You can focus and concentrate on your study because this is, after all, going to be a new country. So you will need time to settle down or maybe to get along with with your friends. So definitely, if that financial headache is not on your head, it will ease your life more. Okay. So
Definitely,
definitely, yeah,
I 100% agree there. Look, it's moving because what you're going to be doing is as a student. So, and a lot of students have never left their home country. So, for them to have all that stress of moving, you have to acclimatize. You have to get used to your surroundings. The UK, especially if you're coming in October or January, it is winter. It can be cold compared to where you're coming from. It gets dark very quickly. It's very rainy. It's cold. It can be a bit glum. You can get a bit disheartened. You can think, why am I here? Um, you don't know anybody, and then if you add on top of that, oh, I've got additional fees to pay. You don't need that headache. It's very stressful as it is to begin with. You don't need to add any more stress. So I would always recommend
exactly.
if you have that option to always pay your full fees.
Exactly. So we have our next question, which is, can I apply with WOAETC, which is ELLT?
Yes.
So
So look, I think again, this question has multiple different answers. Before the pandemic, there was a very clear list of which tests were accepted and which ones weren't. It was a black and white list, and if the test was accepted, it was on the white list, and if it wasn't, it was on the black list, and that was it. There was no middle ground. However, when the pandemic hit, all the IELTS centres and the Pearson centres closed down, so the universities started to accept a number of different tests like Langcert, Duolingo, all of those. So I think at the moment it is a bit of a grey area because don't forget each university will have its own different tests that it accepts. So as far as I know, a number of universities do accept that at the moment. Sorry. But what I would always say is if you've got any specific questions about university, please contact the guys at Boost. They can let me know, and then I can get back to you with an answer for that specific university.
exactly, and always you have an option to book the QA internal English test, which is a plus point for anyone who has no English test already. So do not worry about YTC and other English test if you have it or not. We still have an open internal English test which is offered by the QA. So that's a lifesaver. We have another question which is in Bengali. I will ask you it. It means if a student has received an offer and wants to start their deposit on their name on the bank, because maybe it has into their parents account or maybe it
Okay.
is not in any account, they need to sell any property and make it a bank transfer. So when they should start it?
So with the UKVI, they state that they would need to see any outstanding fees and 1 year's living costs in a bank account in a uh, recognized bank account because there's a certain list of banks that are accepted by the UKVI. So please always check that. And that money needs to be in that account for 28 days. So what I would always say is, look, if you're planning to study for because January is pretty much closed now, I would say that our next intake is going to be March, or if you're doing a foundation, or May if you're doing a postgraduate program. If you're looking to study for one of these intakes, I would always try and put that money into a valid bank account as soon as possible. Obviously, if you're selling land and stuff, then that can take some time. But ideally, you want to leave it in there for as long as possible because what might happen, and it does get picked up, is if the money, or if all of a sudden 28 days before you're about to apply for your visa, a big lump sum of money's gone in. The UKVI or we would ask, where has this money come from? So always try and ensure that that money has been in there for a long time, or it shows that it's been built up.
Exactly. I guess, Abu Tahir, you have got your answer. Definitely start your bank when as soon as possible. If it's not a cash money, if you need to sell your property, just do it as early as you want can, because that's gonna help you in future, because you need a 28 days statement before issuing the cars. So yeah, do that. And yeah, so Mr. Kully, which next intake you have? You've mentioned March and May,
Yeah.
so both are for yeah.
So the March intake is for a foundation course with Northumbria University. It's a 2 semester program. So what a student would do is, historically with a 2 semester program, it's 9 months. So a student would come in, do their first semester, have a break, and then do their second semester, and then basically start onto their undergraduate course in September. What we've done is, because we understand, January, the South Asian market is a late market, and sometimes students miss that January intake, and then they have a big gap until September to
Yeah.
wait. So what we've done is we've taken out, it's a 2 semester program. So what we've done is we've taken out the break, so it's a back to back. So a student comes in for March, does 1 semester, goes straight onto their second semester, finishes for September, and then goes on to their undergraduate course. So that's the March one, and then obviously with the May, we have a number of postgraduate programs that we offer, which is pretty much a full portfolio. The only course that I know we don't offer at the moment is the MBA
Okay.
for May. All the majority of the other courses are running.
Well, there are a bunch of students like interested for the computer science subject on bachelor program. So do you have that subject in any of your centers?
So yeah, so we do offer. I mean, the great thing is we have. I just had a meeting last week, so we will be offering. Sorry, we will be offering the International Year One program in computing with a number of our university partners. So that will cover that off, as well as the undergrad, the foundation programs that lead on to a number of IT related IT related bachelor's courses as well. So yes, we do offer those courses, and they will predominantly be going in for the main intakes, which would be a January or September start.
All right, that's a great news for everyone we are uh, talking about, because this is a second most loved
Yeah.
course and chosen course for our students. Okay, so I would ask you to guide our students, like give a guideline for the
Mhm.
full process, because we have a precast interview as well. So how
Yeah.
should they prepare themselves for that?
Okay. So the precast interview, a lot of students, when we do a precast interview, it's one of those things. It's our duty because, look, with South Asian students, if you get a visa refusal for something really silly, like your bank statements were one day off, or your money dropped one or £10 below, or one of your documents wasn't checked or anything.
Yeah.
If you get a refusal from the UK VI for a student visa, then it's very likely that the UK is closed off for you forever. It's very unlikely another
Yeah.
university will accept your application again. So when we do a precast interview, we just want to make sure that you're ready enough to to have your interview. So realistically, the precast interview is a set of questions that is just geared to ensure the student's ready, or has the knowledge of what is required. So it would be, why did you pick the UK? It's got to be. Students cannot. So I've had students in the past where they've said, "Oh, my friends are studying there, or I've got a lot of family that are living there." Then, okay, why don't you just get a visitor visa and go and visit them, because you don't want to study there. The key reason you want to come to the UK is to study, so you get that degree, because a UK degree does change your life. If you get a UK degree and you go back home with that UK degree, one, I know it's highly respected in society. You can go out, your parents will be extremely proud that My child has got a UK degree. You can then go and work for the big multinational companies like Gramophone, Nestle, Unilever. You can get yourself into a trainee management job, and within 3 to 5 years, you'll be a general manager or business development manager, with a career, with a career track in front of you where you can progress and progress. Um, so yeah, it is all stuff based around why did you pick the UK? Why did you pick this university? So there's 120, 30 universities in the UK. Why was this university the one that you picked? So this could be related to unique course modules, because all the universities have different course modules. It could be related to the rankings of the university. So I compared this university to the other universities, and their student satisfaction rate was a lot higher than the others that I looked at. Why did you pick this course? So how is this course going to directly impact your career moving forward? So as I said, I think I've covered it. Companies like Gramophone, Nestle, Unilever, all those big, massive corporate brands, if you don't have a foreign degree, you're not even going to make it through the application process. They will just reject you straight away. Um, so yeah, so that's the reason why you've picked the course, and how that course is directly going to impact your future career. And then just in terms of your future career, we need to see that you've mapped it out. So Jackie, let's say you've come to the UK, you've got your degree, congratulations. What is your next step now? Okay, I want to go back home. This is the company I want to apply for. This is the job that I want to apply for. Within 3 to 5 years, I will be here, and this is the salary that I want to earn, and this is how this degree is going to help me do that. There'll be questions based around finances, obviously, and then accommodation. So with the UK, we want to know that you've got your accommodations. Okay, you don't have to have booked anything yet, but we want to know that you've researched this. So you could say, Kully, look, I haven't booked anything yet, but I'm going to be studying in Birmingham. I've shortlisted these 3 or 4 properties or places, and then once I've got my visa and it's confirmed, I will then book one of these 4 places. This is the rental cost. This is how far it is from the university, and this is how I will get to the university. And realistically, that is what a pre-CAS interview is. We're not. It's not designed here. It's not designed to trick or trap or trip anybody up. It is just there to really ensure that it's guidance and help to these students. Because, as I said, if a student does get a rejection, unfortunately, that does mean that the UK would be pretty much closed doors for them, forever.
Yeah. So students, you don't need to worry if your intentions are correct and you are enough motivated to study in the UK and you know what you're studying or what you are going to do with that course. Okay, so this is nothing to be worried about because if you have make a mindset of studying in the UK on a course and you know what that impact will be on your career, then that's fine. You need to be just focused, that's all. So thank you very much, Kully, for enlightening our students on many topics
You're
today.
more than welcome.
And I'm very sorry I have made you talk on that bad situation of coughing,
No,
but
sorry
I
that.
had to
Yeah, no,
because we need to know a lot of things from you. It was very enlightening session for all of our students and for us as well. We loved you on this session, and as we have covered everything, pretty much all of the questions already and the full process, would you like to invite all the students for next intake?
yeah. So, guys, look, with QA, what I will just say is we are extremely popular for South Asian students. We will always have more demand than we can supply. So it's one of those ones where if you do want to study with us, please always try and look at an intake in advance. So if you're sat there now ready to go for January, don't take a second option. Don't think, okay, look, I can't get into QA. I'm just going to take another university because I need to go right now. Don't do that. Don't rush it. Look, this is a life changing, once in a lifetime opportunity. Don't go for second best. We are the best at what we do. It's worth waiting the 3 or 4 months extra um, and then come to study with us, because what you will get with QA, you will not get with other university partners. We have one of the most advanced careers departments. We are the only institutes that can guarantee our students internships. There's a lot of independent departments. There's an ACE team, an academic team that helps all of our students with their assignments, with any kind of academic help. Your mental well-being, everything that you could ever need or want in a university is done with QA. So if you have missed this intake but you're ready to go, please don't settle for second best. Sit tight for 2-3 months and then come in for our May intake. The applications are coming in very, very quickly, and we potentially will be having to close this off. We will potentially being able to. We will potentially have to close off our May intake in early January or beginning of February. So if you are still deciding whether to come to QA or another partner, please put your application in for May now, because if you wait too long, you might miss that intake as well. So always just think of an intake in advance. Please make your application with the guys here at Boost. I've worked with Boost. Not only I've been with QA for 3 years, but I've been in this industry for 11 years, and I've worked with Boost for a lot of those years. They are a very, very solid agency, and they especially with South Asia, there's an agency on every street corner, and they always promise students the world and they never deliver. Well, I'm happy to say Boost are one of those rare finds where they promise and they promise and they do deliver on what they offer their students. So I have no hesitation in recommending these guys. They're extremely professional at what they do, and it's always been a pleasure working with them.
Thank you so much, Kully. That's actually what we have earned after so many years
Yeah,
with the service. So thank you very much joining with us today. We are
you're
very
more than
much
welcome.
happy. Yeah. And students, you've heard Kully saying that you all need to start applying for the main intake right now because the seats are limited
Yeah,
and you need to do it now. So yeah, come visit our office at Dhaka. We will give the details in the description, and also you can message on our pages. Our representative will talk to you. Thank you, Mr. Cooley. It was a lovely session with you.
you're more than welcome.
We hope to have many more sessions coming forward. Thank
Whenever
you
you
very
want,
much.
I'm
Yeah.
always available for you guys. Just let me know,
And
and hopefully
yeah,
I'll be better by then, so I'll be able to do a lot.
definitely. We all will pray for your better health. And yeah,
Thank you.
be well and come with us again very soon.
Will do.
All right. Have a
Okay.
lovely day, everyone. Have a lovely day, Cooley.
Take care.
You too. Bye bye.